Hello, how are you? In this video, we'll be doing something a little bit different. Today we'll be more so chatting than anything. I'll probably be more a better companion for background stuff while you're doing something. I don't know what it would be, but that's how it came out of my mouth, I guess. So today we'll be doing something a little bit different. I'll be talking, I won't be really drawing in the background, if I'm not mistaken. I'll be telling you how I found my art style, because I feel like a lot of people put a lot of emphasis into that, and we need to talk about it, okay? Let's just get some things out of the way. For years, way back when, I always worried over not finding a unique art style, because when I looked into the art of other artists that were either more recognizable, that were very famous, or even smaller ones that I just followed at the time or that I was friends with, they all had this very unique art style that was just so them. It was them. Like, everything about them, it was related to their art, and you could see it, you could feel them in it. And when I looked at my own, I didn't feel that same way. Plus, a lot of it came from skill issue, but we'll get into that in a bit, okay? I just wanted that experience as well, where someone could look at my drawings and be like, oh yeah, that's that one angel, I recognize this. I don't know if I got there yet, but I feel like I did in a sense. So I worried over that for years. But we have to get way back into the beginning of my journey. Let's all just be honest now, okay? We all started copying. You went online, you searched for pics of anime girls, and you found stuff. But the good thing that I did with copying is that I only copied poses, really, and I changed the character to my own. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that, I think, in the folder series that I made. I feel like I always mention that folder series nowadays. I still have to make the sketchbook series, that one. It's going to be long, like long. I have many sketchbooks, and a lot of them have a lot of stuff in there that is very personal, so let's see how that goes. But sure, maybe next year, maybe. Okay. So I always change the characters to my own. The thing is, I don't really think anyone can own poses, okay? So you can copy poses, even from other art nowadays. Even if you know how to draw and you know that it's wrong, it's not tracing, okay? Neither is it really copying the art. You aren't copying a whole concept. A pose is one thing, the whole concept is another, okay? Let's get that out of the way. Like, if you copied, like, I don't know, this drawing's pose here, who am I to say? I don't know, a girl sitting down, showing you her boots or something, I don't know. That's not original, okay? I can't own that. I can own the character design, but not the pose. So for years, I also had no understanding of art and the art community. When I used to copy other artists, that was back when I started drawing people, in 2016 all the way to 2018, which is also around when I started watching tutorials and studying a bit more of that, but I still copied others to like figure out how they pose their drawings. I never did. Back then I had no knowledge, no brain cells, nothing. And I didn't really know what the art community was back then. Let me explain. I only ever really thought that artists were like the major artists from back in the day, like Davinci. I don't know. Don't even question me why. I didn't put two and two together for years. I didn't even realize that people had to draw stuff. It's like I said in my last video, I think. I thought that these anime girls that you would search up online were screenshots from a show, and I never actually realized that shows were drawn by people as well. I don't know what I thought back then, but I didn't know that people drew. I know that this is crazy, but I was actually just stupid, okay? So I didn't know that until like 2019. Another thing that did happen to me was that I used to draw in public a lot because I went places back then. Nowadays I don't. So, which is crazy, right? People are usually very self-conscious, and even I was. I didn't like people watching me draw, but they would, and that was horrible, and I hope that these people never do that again. I hate that. Every single time that they would see me draw, they'd be like, "Oh, you draw anime. Oh, you draw anime so well. I love this anime." And I'm like, "My person, where did you... how? These are my characters. This is not a show. This is not an anime or anything. Sure, it's an anime art style or whatever, but stop." And it annoyed me so bad that I completely changed my art style and went to like a Western cartoon style. Let's first get into the 2019 part. In 2019, I found out about Instagram, unfortunately, and that's when I found out that there was a community for people that actually drew, and these people that draw, just like me, were called artists. Surprise, surprise. Wow. So I kinda not really joined that place. I mean, I joined Instagram, but I'm not the most social person. I did join a group in 2020, but it just didn't work out. Okay, I'm not the best at that. I also realized people made a living from it, so I was like, well, I love drawing, and it's basically one of the only things I'd love to do, so I might as well, right? So I tried making a living off that. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe we'll get there someday. And just like everyone else, I started putting things I enjoyed together and mishmashing that. When I joined the art community in 2019, I saw a bunch of artists that started to inspire me. It would be really difficult to name them all, but I started putting things together that I liked from each art style, and I was like, I like this way that they draw this part, and I like this way that they rendered this, so I might as well experiment with that. But I didn't have any fundamental knowledge. My life would have been so much easier if I solely focused on learning the fundamentals, and I decided to simply jump over that because I want to get into the good stuff, which was drawing, I don't know, let's just say like the way that, I don't know, Match or Rella or Lamb, all of these big artists drew, like I mentioned as well in the last video, Lord Gris, and Draw Kill, Huion. I don't know, these are all the artists that I can name from the top of my head. I'm horrible with naming people. You tell me to name 5 songs from a certain band that I listen to that I'm wearing a shirt off, I wouldn't be able to name them. I wanted to mishmash stuff. I didn't have any knowledge on the fundamentals, and that really fucked me over, I have to admit. Things did not go my way because I didn't know how to draw. So I kept trying to stylize stuff that I didn't even understand yet. Am I not smart? Oh, I know, this brain is so wrinkly, oh my god. At some point, I solely focused on learning, finally, especially how muscles and bone work and impact each other. I also studied lighting and composition, all of these fundamental stuff that I should have learned way back in the beginning, but that I said to just not. And then surprise, I started to finally improve. Shocker, ooh. So I went back to an anime art style, which is what I enjoy drawing. You know, this guy right here. I started putting myself to learn more. I pushed myself out of my comfort zone, and I started also limiting myself to things I didn't understand. So that's what I did in 2021, which was using these very dark and desaturated colors because I wanted to do that, and I didn't really understand how. Especially with color theory in itself, that's what I really pushed back in 2021. I really pushed my knowledge on color theory, and I've learned a lot from then, and that's how now I can simply use every color in the way that I want. And funny enough, I've had the same base of drawing since the end of 2020 up until now, which you might be surprised by, and you could look at these 2 drawings and be like, that's not the same, but in the way that I process drawing, it is. I draw the body in certain ways, and I push certain parts of it just like I did back then anatomically. Like I love changing certain shapes or pushing certain shapes more so, just like I do nowadays. I draw the the eyes in different shapes, which I learned from My Little Pony, I won't even lie. Like I did here. I did that since 2020. I do that now still. I keep that same fundamental knowledge in the back of my head. It's something that I've always loved doing, so I kept it. I use purple. Like, I know it's not a unique thing to me, but in conjunction of everything, it's a part of me. I feel like I'm very recognized for purple at this point. Also, the spiky rendering, question mark? I don't know how to describe this, but I tend to like do these spikies. I think I can't run away from it. Even when I try to run away from it, I come back to it. It's a part of me at this point. I can't even deny it. In the end, my art style is an amalgamation of things I enjoy and identify with. Like, it's very obvious, but I experimented with a lot of things to get to this point. And in the end, everything that I do, I enjoy, right? Right? So if you want to find your own art style, make your life easier, learn the fundamentals first, okay? When you understand something, you can stylize it in a believable way, and that is what you want. And to keep improving, you always have to push yourself out of your comfort zone until you end up at a point like me where you're sort of okay with everything, and then you're very confused, then you don't really know what to do anymore, and then you start drawing cars. Surprise, I don't know. Things happen, right? Also, another thing, when you start pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, you always have to come back to the fundamentals and relearn that, just to keep that knowledge in place. Improving in every single aspect of life isn't linear. That includes improving your art skills. You go up, then you're sort of like, well, this isn't looking right anymore. You have to come back down, relearn the fundamentals, then you start going up again. And that just happens, even in life, in social skills, career-wise, and every single hobby. Nothing is really linear, and we just have to accept that. The earlier you accept that, the better your life will be, okay? Trust me on that one. I've suffered with that. I knew I found my art style when I stopped wanting to change it completely. Like, completely, the way I drew. But I want to change certain things to improve the way I already do draw, because I like it. And since I think like that, I know I found my guy. I found him. He's mine now. If you feel like changing your art style completely, though, don't feel bad about it. It's natural evolution. It just happens. You want to improve, and sometimes things just don't align with you anymore, and it doesn't really represent who you are. And you have to let go to improve and become a better version of yourself, and make better versions of your drawings as well. It took me a few years to actually find my art style, and it took me years to improve, and it will still take me years to improve even now, even more. And I'm excited for it. I like that. I like being able to look into the future and think, I'll draw better than I do now, and that is what I want. But I can put consistent effort into that, and I will achieve it faster, hopefully. If you want to improve faster, you can separate big goals and small goals, long term and short term. So let's say in like a year you want to succeed in this, but to reach there you have to do these smaller things that might take you a month or a week or a day. It's very helpful when you want to improve. Also, I will give you the best advice of my life. Be confident in your lines. Like, seriously, that helps a lot and saves a lot of time, so that you don't control Z all the time. Like, it takes a while to learn, and even to unlearn to control Z, it's an issue. Sure, you will still control Z, but not all the time. Line confidence is really great. Anyways, in the end, have fun. Don't push yourself if you don't feel like something, but if you absolutely need to, then do it. But don't overwhelm yourself, okay? So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you have a nice day and night. I hope I sound coherent too, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!